tournament live at OKTAGON.tv.
Looking to impose himself and looking for his third victory in the octagon cage. Frimpong, blue corner, Frank in the red, and off we go.
Southpaw stance for Frimpong, comes out with a nice head kick to start us off, shows his intentions with that left leg, switching, needs to be careful of the range, as if he goes into that boxing range, Frank is very, very dangerous with that right hand. But moving well early.
Firing those kicks up as well, Luke. Oh, spinning back fist.
The Menace, very active early on.
Very loose as well.
Has been away from the octagon cage for some time, but good coming back. Nice knee, switches it up from Frank, and turning the kickboxer into a wrestler at the moment is Frimpong. Those long legs and that long, you know, stance there, those limbs, very difficult to take down as he switches and switches again, goes to the elbow, gives up that takedown though, and this is the style that you need to use against Frimpong. Even if you are the striker, this is the right decision, and we've seen it. We've seen him struggle with this style before and just hang out here a little bit too much and not be urgent enough to get back to his feet. Needs to be careful, doesn't give up the back. Trying to go for that cross grip now. Good work here from Frimpong with that underhook, but Frank attached. And when you've got such a long leverage that Frimpong has, and he's throwing up head kicks, like you said, very loose, spinning back fist. It just shows how awkward it can be as he manages to work himself back up to his feet. And Frank now almost looking desperate to stay attached to him.
Yeah, that was great from Frimpong there, working his way up. Like you said, we've seen flaws and holes in the game. We saw it in the George Staines fight, but Frimpong used the cage very, very well.
And that's a big deal. Got back up to his feet fairly easily, to be honest. This is what I expected from Frank. The striking on the feet, staying in that boxing range, because the length and those limbs and the kicks from Frimpong are so hard to deal with. But stalking his man now is Frank, trying to find that opening for the punches. Good head movement. I'd like to see Frimpong try and get his back off that fence, try and take the center so he can utilize his length better. Nice teep to the midsection from Frank. But it's so hard to know what's coming from Frimpong. That's why his style is so unique, and it's hard to find sparring partners for him, and it's just hard to deal with him in general.
And again, when you saw Frank go in for that takedown attempt, Frimpong was able to fire a knee up. Oh, it was a good connection, and I think that might be why there's hesitation on Frank to enter again for another takedown attempt.
And he's so active at the moment, Frimpong, and that's where he needs to be with the length and the style. Beautiful hands, land, two-piece combination. I don't want to see him get too cocky. He doesn't need that. Desperate takedown there from Frank. Got in attached to this leg though. Gonna try and push that head down and get that leg free. Nice work from Frank. But this Delahiba and long limb here. If we can get that left leg all the way over to the other hip from Frimpong, might be able to use it to take the back. Doesn't so. And here has that half butterfly. The long limbs of Frimpong cause a problem on the bottom as well, and he likes to elbow and attack from the bottom as well.
Frank said he felt the hole in the game of Frimpong was his jiu-jitsu. That was the martial art Frimpong started with. That whole journey into martial arts began by falling in love with jiu-jitsu, so maybe Frank questioning that thought now.
Well, I just think it's so interesting that Frank's turned into a grappler. You know, his striking's so good when he uses it well, and even the shapes that he made in a couple of those exchanges gets kicked off. That's sometimes the problem with having long limbs. It can be difficult to get back up to your feet. Frimpong manages to do so though. Doesn't want to kick too close.
1 minute 15 seconds now.
Nice feints with the limbs of Frimpong. Looking for that question mark kick.
He's really letting the kicks go loosely right from the start. That seems to be a tactic, and you can see Frank now wearing some of that damage, blood coming from the mouth. A couple of welts over the right side, and that was the eye that Frimpong said he was going to target, and he does it again. Yeah,
Frank just looks uneasy to me. He looks uncomfortable on the feet. Doesn't look happy to be there. Wants this takedown, and has got it a couple times, but not done much with it, to be honest.
45 seconds now. Big breaths from Frimpong.
Yeah, Frimpong needs to create a frame. It's silly throwing those little shots for no reason. Get that underhook high. Good work there from Frank, though. Trying to get to the back and does so. Can fight the arms. Needs to get that left elbow back. Now does Frimpong. If he can get the left elbow to the hip of Frank, gives up on that. Going to need to go to the whizzer now instead. Needs to be careful with his legs. Trying to wrap up the Kimura. Not a great idea with the head position of Frank. Could get dumped backwards here. As he says, I thought I'm just a kickboxer.
But listen, when you look at the preparation...
Nice whizzer now. Better defensive position and posture from Frimpong.
When you look at the preparation Frank has had, he's been working at ATT with Gamrot in particular. You know what his style is like.
Yeah, needs to keep that activity up, though. I mean, he's been very active in this first round. Lot of output. Needs that. But you could just see how wary Frank is early. Doesn't quite know how to read him, what to do, which is the style of Frimpong, makes it so difficult. Like to see him go to simpler things now, though. Use those feints to open up the hands and just settle into this second round, because Frank's dangerous on the feet in exactly that situation. Up against the fence, Frimpong needs to be worried about that right hand and doesn't need to throw useless spins and feints anymore. He's already got him guessing. I'd have more deliberation in your striking now, more grounded, more feeling the floor with your feet, pushing through the ground. Add a little bit more pep to those shots. And be more aware of where you are in the cage, because at the moment this is the bad situation. And now he puts himself up against the fence, switches legs, did this very badly in the first round, and he might struggle with it here in the second as well. Frank searching for this takedown.
Frank in on this attack now up against the cage.
Nice elbows, that's very, very good. As wide as possible is the advice from Shamrock, and that's exactly right. He has that advantage with the long legs.
Yeah, Shamrock coached Denis Frimpong all the way to the finals in the England versus Ireland Octagon Challenge.
He's doing the right thing when he's switching his legs, but he's staying like connected too long in the middle. Gets away with it there, but gave a lot of opportunities to Frank. But now, barring up against the fence, and you can see the demeanor of Frank just completely changing. Desperate for this takedown again. Needs those legs to be wide.
Oh, now he switches
beautiful,
out. That was
beautiful
nice.
work. Gives up the neck though, maybe.
Oh.
Frimpong going for this high elbow guillotine. Doesn't quite get it yet.
He's changing the grip. He's changing the grip. Squeezing on the neck, pushing the pressure. Good work though from Frank to
Frank
escape.
goes to the north-south. Yeah, Frank escaped, not just escaped, but used it to pass as well. Frimpong struggled had a great grasp on the neck, but didn't have control of the lower body. So Frank managed to escape. Now on the bottom. But is he going to stay there long as he tries to get back to all fours? Those long limbs hindering him in this situation. Nice little right hand from the bottom, though.
On the inside.
Out of nowhere.
But the takedown, the switch in there.
Oh, that was beautiful from Frank. But still looks desperate to get the takedown to me.
Oh, threat from a triangle there from Frimpong. Frank aware of it, just posturing up now.
I just hope he can keep this up for the entire fight, because Frimpong's been putting out a lot of output, and I don't want him taking. He's looking for an armbar here.
Attacking from the bottom is Frimpong.
Shamrock asking for him to get to the cage. Cage is right there. He is very close if he can get his feet underneath him.
You can hear that clearly from Shamrock. Get to the fence.
Yeah, I agree as well. Either try and sweep or get back to the fence, or use both, you know, in tandem. Go for the sweep, get back to the fence, go for the sweep. You know, the triangle and the armbar is a great idea, but if it doesn't work, you should utilize that to create space and come backwards. But Frank now getting a much better control as he tries to use that butterfly.
Yeah, you can see Frimpong wants the sweep.
Fence is there now for him. He turns himself away from it. Bit of a bad decision from cage awareness. Trying to get this sweep again. Now in that butterfly. Still saying scoot to the fence.
Yeah.
Just for those who don't understand scales, we've got you covered. Looking for this armbar again.
1 minute 25 seconds left in this second round. Again, all three judges scoring it in favor of Denis Frimpong.
I feel like the first round he's done very well as well. If he gets this sweep,
he's got
doesn't quite get it, comes out the back though with it. So he manages to improve his position and get to the back. Does very well to chase to the fence there. Stops Frank from getting to the fence and gets that right hook.
Yeah, the inside,
that's so important. That was very, very, very intelligent from Frimpong, and that's gave him a fight finishing position here if he can hang on the back. But needs to keep his hips in the right place. I'm just a kickboxer.
That was what was said at the press conference. Oh, this quarter Nelson now just
going to try and get that right leg in now. Needs to get his hips back here. He's going to get shook off. He's going to get shook off. Manages with those long limbs though to get the other side.
Feeds them in nicely.
So he's got 2 hooks.
Seconds.
Needs to bring his hips towards us. Needs to bring his hips towards the center of the cage. Frank does a good adjustment there. Could turn inside now and then end up on top. Only 20 seconds left. Needs to control that right arm of Frank. Can't let right arm bring that elbow back. A few errors here from both men. There's a lot of things that could happen here. Frimpong needs to come on top. Needs to establish is what the corner is telling him. Gets it eventually though. Through bad movement that from Frank. Frank had plenty of opportunity. And now gonna end this round with Frimpong on the back. The Menace needs to stay switched on in that striking, that boxing stance, that boxing distance, because still Frank is very dangerous there. Nice head kick. And again, wants that takedown. Can't get it. Beautiful defense. And almost like...
Oh, nice knee.
Almost disheartened. Broke him here, I feel like. Frank giving up. I can feel the momentum change in his energy. Great takedown there, though, and scramble. Looking to wrap up the neck again is Frimpong. Has this arm elbow high. Can't quite get it over the shoulder, though. Attacking it. Good work there from Frank to get this takedown. He needed it because his demeanor was completely changing.
Against the cage when a couple of those shots came in, exactly what you said. It just felt like he wasn't willing to take them, but he did something to change that position. Very good at shooting onto that knee and circling round, turning round. Yeah, the full turn. He's done it every single time. That's how he's got Frimpong down. And that's when you're fighting a long guy who's got a good sprawl and good hips. That's how you beat them. It's actually something that Shamrock does extremely well, and he's utilized him in one of his fights. I can't remember exactly which one, but he shoots around his opponent rather than straight through him. Great work from Frank to get it to this position. But can he cause damage? I don't think he's landed a ground and pound shot yet. Again, Frimpong, no urgency to get back to the cage. He's locked the guard up here. He managed to get that sweep eventually. Now still talking to Frank. Yeah, talking, being the menace that he is, looking for this armbar as well. And has shown some good jiu-jitsu from the bottom. Some sweep attempts, looking for more platter now. Or go-go platter. He's going to do the arm. Oh, he's trying to trap the hand. Got the elbow out, good work there. The fence is right by Denis Frimpong, though. If he wants to try and stand back to his feet, that would be the best route. Going X-guard, though, on this left leg, on this left side, with those butterfly. Got butterfly hook now. Just so good with those limbs, very dexterous off his back. And Frank in this dominant position, but he needs a finish, Luke. That is, you know... Yeah, that's the thing. 3 minutes to get the finish. Yeah. He's come nowhere near. Hasn't even looked dangerous on the ground to me. He's looked, you know, like he's had a little bit of control, but that's it. I haven't seen one significant shot. I think his best chance is actually on the feet in the boxing distance. Nice push on the hips with the feet from Frimpong. Going to try and use that across the neck as a frame to stand back up. Looking now for a ninja choke with those long limbs. This would be one hell of a submission. Huge if he can get that. He has this, Brian. Got the squeeze. Has this. Look at this that. He's turning the corner as well. Frank in big trouble here now. Oh, just on the chin. But this is great work. But see how he's pushing on. Has it now. That's huge. Turning now, twisting, but Frank uses it to get to Turtle. Doesn't want to give up his back. Gives us a smile and a shake of the head, does Frimpong, but needs to be careful here. See how Robert Frank, left knee, he's trying to separate Frimpong from the fence. Very intelligent. And does so, but switches sides. Great work from the Menace. Needs to try and work back up to his feet. Has 2 minutes to survive to win this fight. One hook in now from Frank. Fighting 2-on-1. Needs to watch his neck. Again, needs to stand here, can do, is allowed to. Great work, separates the hands, spins round. Needs to dig. Does so with that left underhook. Great work here. Knees are open if he wants it. There it is. Great work, and then push on that head and just move away. Oh, shots now. He looks hurt. Yeah. What a performance this is so far from Frimpong. And the cardio always comes up in shape. And yeah, third round. Frame. You look at his frame and you always wonder how he makes weight that easy, and it's not easy, but... Needs to get the hips back, needs to get the hips back. He is in phenomenal shape for this fight. Takes the hooks. Finished the second round on his back, now at the end of the third on it again. And Frank is looking tired, looking up at the screen. Oh, and having to listen to this as well. The Menace by name, the Menace by nature. And a very, very... He's done, we hear from Frimpong, but a very mature performance, maybe apart from the showboating and the talking, but when it comes to fighting, very mature. Oh, he's trying to get in the way he is for this fight. Like you said, energy, very, very good. Takedown defense has been good. Winning these positions on top. Been fought the entirety of mixed martial arts. And technically. Yeah, beautifully worked, beautiful work. Here as he rains down ground and pound from the top with 30 seconds remaining.
Been very impressed with Frimpong. Makes a mistake there. Gives up the underhook. Great work from Frank to build himself back up. But again, 20 seconds to make something happen. I don't believe he'll do it. Trying to go to the back maybe now. Using that whip, those long limbs of Frimpong as he stands back up to his feet.
Final seconds here, closing out what has been.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, let's see how judges score this fight. 30-26, 30-27, and 30-27, all for the winner by unanimous decision. Denis the Menace Frimpong!
Watch the tournament live at OKTAGON.tv.